You're here because you probably have an old water heater that needs to be replaced. And if you're a DIYer like me, then keep watching. So this is my first time ever replacing a water heater, and this unit came with the home. And it's probably about 15 years old at this point. And we figured, you know what, it's probably about time we put in a more energy efficient unit before this old one died on us. Now before you do anything, first make sure that the gas supply or the power to the water heater is turned off. And then go ahead and empty that tank. The last thing you want on your hands is an accident while doing a DIY project. As you can see, I'm having a hard time undoing those water lines. So the lines have a lot of calcium deposits and rust from over the years. So I'm using a little bit of WD-40 to help me ease it up and remove those connections. So now that the vent and the water lines are removed, I'm going to go ahead and open up the brand new water heater that I got from Lowe's. So the old water heater had a couple of braces on top and on the sides to keep it from tipping over. So I'm going to go ahead and undo those before I remove the old water heater. So removing the old one is definitely a two-man job. If you have a third person, that's even better. Now make sure the tank is drained and empty before you attempt to remove the old water heater. As I mentioned before, this unit is about 15 years old. So there is a chance that it might crack at the bottom. As you can tell, mine is already cracking at the bottom. It's rusted at the bottom. And there's probably going to be a lot of debris underneath. So just be aware, it's probably going to be a lot of rust. So I think we got pretty lucky with this one because I think it was almost time it failed on us. So we caught it right on time. So this project took us about 2.5 hours, and the hardest part was actually removing the old water heater. So now we're just preparing the location for the new one. So I'm going to try to unbox the new one here. So the new one has a servo mechanism that closes the vent valve, so it retains most of the heat inside the chamber itself. So it keeps the water warmer for a longer period of time. So it's more energy efficient that way because it's losing less heat to the environment. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and install the new unit. This part is also a two-man job. So since our water heater is on an elevated platform, we're going to have to figure out a way to push it up there somehow. So I'm going to go ahead and use a metal ladder we have, and we're going to use that as a ramp to slowly push it up there. So we're going to slightly slant it and then put the ladder in and then just push it up the rails and move it onto the platform. Just want to be careful because the unit is a little heavy. It's not that heavy because there's no water or anything in there, but it's definitely good to have a third person to make sure everything is balanced and going okay. As you're installing the new unit, do make sure that all the valve and connections are facing forward. You don't want to be rotating it once it's on a platform. So I'm going to go ahead and put in those braces around the water heater to make sure that it is fully secured, and also secure it from the top as well before I start installing any of the water lines or the gas valve. So now it's time to go ahead and push those braces in and then go ahead and fix that vent in place. So my old mechanism had elbows for the vent. So it is a little bit of a pain to adjust the elbows to the right angle, but it tends to hold the shape and structure together. Just gotta make sure all the little screws there are adjusted so you can actually turn the elbow into place. So once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and connect the water supply lines and then the gas connection. If you get a water heater with a servo for the vent valve, then you want to make sure that you have an outlet somewhere nearby so you can plug that in. The good thing about this unit is if it loses power, it's just going to leave the vent open. So that way, if you don't have an outlet nearby and you just want to use it without that energy efficiency, then you can go ahead and do that as well. At this point, we're pretty much done with most of the installation. Now it's just ensuring that all the braces are secured in and everything is tight and the unit doesn't fall off. And also to make sure that the gas lines are in place and there's no leak from the gas line. And once that's done, you can go ahead and light up the pilot and then ensure that the vent valve is functioning as well, and we're good to go. Hopefully this video gave you guys some insights on how to do your own DIY install. If it did, please hit that like and subscribe.